All right, everyone. Hope you're all doing good. Hope you're all doing well. It's time for another episode of Speedruns from the Crypt, your bi-weekly horror hotfix. I'm your host, Dices, and today I thought, it's April Fool's. I thought maybe I'd pick a very fast speed run for you, something that's really going to be truly great. We'll jump into that in a moment. We all have a lot of time to get to know each other in this run. I'll be doing the run myself today, kind of a nice April Fool's speed run. And if you don't know the category, we'll learn all about it in a moment. But first, just for a couple of announcements. For one, Speed on 6 will be live May 7th through the 10th, and GDQ will be hosting the official English restream. You can use !speedons in chat to learn more, and submit by April 10th if you want to commentate on any of the runs. As well, if you're curious on what's coming up on Hotfix or interested in running on GDQ, you check out the week's schedule and submit your runs to be showcased at gdq.gg/hotfix. Anyway, with that being said, I guess, let's learn what Great Knife Only is if you haven't seen it. If you have seen it, you know what it is, but I guess we can hop on over. Here's Sonal 2 Great Knife Only Hard. I guess I'll wait for us to be on the screen because there's a weird setup, and we're going to have a long night. Let me know when I'm all good, Richard. All right, so time for this run is going to be beginning when we start the game. We'll start in the intro cutscene because we'll have to count it down. And Sonal 2 does have a good deal of setup. Now, this is going to be a little bit weird. This is a slightly modded category, but the idea is, well, first off, 3, 2, 1, go. We're only ever allowed to use the Great Knife. Now, what is the Great Knife? This is a weapon we are not meant to have right now. You get it very at the end of the game, and it's actually pretty strong. Very strong, in fact. Now, what's the drawback? Whenever you have the Great Knife equipped, it moves about this fast. It's supposed to be very heavy. And it's not a New Game Plus weapon. You actually only ever get it on a New Game file, and you have to get it manually every time. But we ended up modding this, and you end up going at this speed basically the whole run. Why are we doing this? Well, it wouldn't be April Fool's without a fun speed run. Let's say speed run. Anyway, just landed our first skip. By using the text there, we can bypass having to grab the map. How much time does that save? With the Great Knife Only, a lot. I think a lot is a good way of putting it. For good reference as well, I believe the intro of this game normally takes about 5 minutes, make a little under 5 minutes in game time. It takes a lot longer than 5 minutes on Great Knife Only. We're going to be just dragging this knife all the way to the end of the game. And now, a fun counter will be, as we go through the night, we're going to have some people asking, oh, why don't you just unequip the Great Knife? Well, if we unequipped it, it wouldn't be Great Knife Only. It would be like, Great Knife sometimes. Which, that wouldn't be good for the category. Anyway, if anyone does have any questions about the run or anything in general, I guess, I will be reading chat during this one. And hopefully that describes it. I also am, I guess, waking up. So this is what a way to wake up, by the way. Imagine you wake up and then you drag the Great Knife for... I think, it's funny, I think we lower the estimate. Because every time we do this, I make the estimate a little bit higher because, with speeds like this, it's hard to grasp how fast you're really going. And hello, Twitch chat. That's a knife. That is a knife. It's Pyramid Head's knife, and it is pretty great. It is pretty damn great. I think the last time we did this was funny enough last year. I think we did the same thing for April Fools, which I don't know. I like April Fools. It's fun. It's always kind of neat to see what kind of jokesters get up to, no good and all that. I guess it's kind of funny because I think for like this is like the third holiday I think we had right before or on. And then we had what? We had April Fools, we had Christmas Eve, and then I don't want to say Thanksgiving Eve or whatever you want to call that. So the knife is actually a really good weapon. The thing is, though, normally you want to, the drawback of the knife is the movement speed's kind of bad. So normally you would want to move into position and then use it. The main speedrun actually does use the knife during a few of the parts, mainly the Eddie boss fight and really on hard mode, it's going to be Eddie, dual pyramid head, and Mary. On easy, you don't ever even look at the knife. Normal, you would look at the knife, but it's only normal hard mode tech. It's pretty fast. Once you get used to it, it's pretty easy to keep up. I know it looks like it's going pretty fast, but we'll get there. We'll get there. And it looks like we had a 323 and a 316.18. I feel like the estimate would be better to just be like long. Not even numbers, just the word long. It's a long, right? What a game. We can also play a fun guessing game right now while we're in the early game. Because that game saved is me pushing the game save button every single time. And a good question would be, how many times will we be saving the game during this run? And I think I'm going to go like 25,000 maybe. Most runs will get like 10K. I think maybe 25K. I do a run recently, I'm so familiar. I am the host of Speedruns From the Crypt. So if you ever do watch the Crypt shows, usually I am the one introducing it and, introducing the runners and organizing the show. Have you heard about the James body pillow? Yes, so apparently Silent Hill 2, one of the April Fool's jokes that Konami has been doing is there is a James body pillow you can buy for like a week. They also had a pillow last year, which is kind of funny. You have to do inputs to walk to hold the stick. It's basically holding the stick the whole time. It's funny. I actually don't know if we need to save because I don't know if there is drawback on the movement speed. I think this is the run, but yeah. Also here we have possibly our first skip of the game. Oh, I missed it. It saves maybe half a second. But you know what? What's half a second in a 3-hour run? That's okay. We'll get it next year. Clearly, that'll be the move. As long as we land the important stuff, that'll be okay. We'll get there in about 3 hours, I believe. Let's see. Do we get some action? Yes, we will see some combat. We do have a few combat portions. In fact, one of the funny thing is this speedrun ends up having more combat than you would think. It's kind of funny too with that because normally in Silent Hill 2, sorry, I'm building up the excitement for this. Normally in Silent Hill 2, you would have enough movement speed where you could run past every enemy. The thing is, though, since we're on hard mode, all the enemies are going to be really fast. And they'll chase us to the ends of the earth. That's not going to be good for us. So we're going to have to actually take them out. I'm sure you can understand that. Also, I think I have water. Cool. There we go. I realize I've also been talking a lot the past few days, so my throat might be a little sore. What a game, huh? What a game. No more world record. I think world record, I think, died a couple of times. And if we do this death list, that'll be a real change right there. Now you may be wondering, is there a speedrun category for such a majestic run? No. There are two runners of this. One of them is me, and the other one is an older Silent Hill runner by the name of UFO Techie, who invented the category. Techie's runs were a lot longer because I added in the out of bounds. No one help with the commentary? I couldn't really find anyone that would be willing to be here for 3 hours. Realistically, though, Great Knife Only is Great Knife Only. It's usually not too hard. You gotta walk, ignore the chainsaw, which you can see a lot longer than usual. And we're actually approaching the first of the major skips in this game. Because we do have some pretty major tech coming up. And actually, it actually is. Missing it would lose way too much time. So we have to hope we really do not miss it. Yeah, luckily, the speed we're going, I think we should be able to keep up with the commentary pretty well. Still my facial hair? I don't know. It's there. That's the answer. Why not? Happy to watch the Great Knife. Great Knife. That's what it is. It's not the slow-moving knife. It's the great... Actually, it is slow-moving, but Great Knife. Good luck with the run. Thank you. GDQ Hotfix, make sure we only have the finest speedruns and the finest games. Weirdly enough, this isn't the longest run I've ever done. The longest run I've ever done was actually a challenge category for a game called Parasite Eve. And I think that was like a near 20-hour run. I think it was like 17 hours. That was a brutal category. I don't think GDQ would take that one, but it was pretty cool. Does quick saving even matter? I have no idea. Either way, it's fun to do, and it gives me something to do for 3 hours. Because a lot of what we're going to be doing is one foot after another. James will find his great wife. It will actually come in handy during a few parts, though. So we do actually need to do it a little bit. But in terms of, like, regular movement, I don't know. We'll have to call it Games Done. Oh, yes, yes. So we'll have to change the name to either remove the Q from the logo for a bit and just have it GD. Games Done. Oh yeah, this could be the pre-show, of course, right before the next SGDQ. They're going to have Great Knife Only. This will be walking over to what, Minneapolis? You want to watch a 17-hour Hotfix run? I don't even think Hotfix runs for 17 hours. I think the longest Hotfix runs usually tends to be during the Fatales events, if I'm correct. Which, usually Fatales, they begin around... like 10, maybe 10 a.m. And I think they go to like 10 p.m. maybe. I don't really know because of time zones. What if you exchange knives, Laura? You mean Angela? Oh, we'll be taking her knife too. We're going to be hoarding all the knives. All right, some very exciting news. Also, I can't see the timer because I accidentally blocked it with one of my things, but I think we're about 11 minutes into the run. Almost 12 minutes into the run. And we're about to approach our second skip of the game. Now, this one is going to be a lot more difficult than usual. But let's talk about what we're going to be doing. Earlier, it was asked, is saving the game important? Right now, not really, no. But as of this door, it will be important. Because what's going to happen is, as you go through the town, you get the beginning of the game tutorial, right? And this is supposed to be the combat tutorial. We have to hold this text the entire time without dropping it. which normally it's not too bad. You're probably running for like maybe a minute or two. It's going to be a little bit longer now for holding the text. I cannot stop pressing the game saved button throughout all of this. The reason why is because as we kind of go through the town, there's going to be a forced stopping period. What that's going to do is it will, you know, forcibly stop me, and it will direct me to the combat tutorial of the game. Normally, you know, I think if you go there, it's about a minute and a half of time loss. That is during the regular run. Considering it took us about 12 minutes to get to a part of the game that's usually like 2 minutes, that minute and a half is really going to add up if we miss it. So it's very important we do not drop this text as we're walking through the town. So, normally for Silent Hill runs, death is the end. This category is a little bit more lenient, because if we die, obviously, you know, resetting after dragging your great knife about an hour and some change wouldn't be very fun. So, what we're going to be doing is, if we die, we'll just reload the save. This is timed with real time anyway, not the in-game timer, just because I don't know if anyone's even done this deathless. Which, it is kind of goofy that you can do basically the whole game like this. I've done it a few times. Why don't I do it more? Probably for the exact reason you're thinking. It destroys the city of Silent Hill too much. Also, I guess something kind of funny about that. Recently, there was a Silent Hill movie, right? A new one that came out about Silent Hill 2. This speedrun, I think, is like... Oh, well, I know it's a lot longer than the movie. I think you could watch the movie almost twice during the length of time that this run takes. Is there no way to go any faster? We're going as fast as we can. In fact, I'm surprised you can keep up with the speed. We're going pretty damn quick, if you ask me. In fact, one might say the speed is great. What else do we have? Oh yes, but as we were saying, I actually do wonder what the longest run to ever be at a GDQ has been. Usually it's an RPG. I think it might be one of the Final Fantasies, like maybe Final Fantasy like 9 or something, or 8. No, 9, I think. Maybe 7. It would be a good question to have. Although I have no idea how one would be able to, you know, look that up. I know there's GDQ VODs, which is pretty good for looking at past GDQ stuff of the, you know, all the runs in history and all that. Good question. And hello, the GDQ Hotfix got a raid from Sharkcat. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Was there one left for like 8 hours? Yes, I do believe there was about an 8-hour run. Oh, like, I think Final Fantasy games tend to get around the 8 or 9 hours. I don't know what the longest would be. I do know that back in the day, like, I think it was mentioned in like a Reddit post that you can't really submit anything past 10 hours. So technically 10 hours would be the cap. Final Fantasy 8 and 9 were both 11 hours. Wait, they're 11. I guess old school runs could have been 11 hours. I think they'll always be the longest runs. You can never go beyond that. Good luck with the Great Knife only run. Oh, we're going to need it. It's only going to be getting worse. It will only be getting worse. All right. And I have some excellent news for everyone. In one moment, we can finally say we're in Silent Hill. Not yet, but we're almost in the town. I also admire James's tenacity. He knows there's no reason to go back. He's going to look for Mary. You know what? He is. He really is. All right, and with that step right there, we are officially in the town of Silent Hill. I don't know how long that took. But we are in Silent Hill. I think it's in 17 minutes almost. How does the hospital chase work? Excellent question. That'll be a special surprise later, but we do have a trick for that, and it will work. It's actually kind of funny, because you don't think it would work, but it kind of does. Also, Arkham Knight 240. I'm guessing it's a very long run. Oh, that's probably all like the Riddler trophies, right? How to use potions or keys. You don't need to swap out. You can do it by going to menu, and the keys automatically use. So, won't be too worrisome there. 1740. Gotcha. Perfect. Instant. We have those instant replays to catch all the action. Speaking of action, all right. Here's a hard trick. We're going to have to walk past this blood. Or should I say a great trick? Not hard. Great. By walking past that blood, we have to hold this for a little bit more, but that is the blood that will force us to go to the combat tutorial. Once you're far enough away, we'll be able to just avoid it entirely. Oh, hold on, we have an answer here from Reddit. GDQ 2012 had a run of Final Fantasy VIII of 11 hours and 24 minutes. That's pretty wild. It's pretty wild right there. But I do understand maybe why GDQ is not going to have super long runs these days to that capacity. But hey, look at that. We're almost there. When we round the corner, we should be done, and we can finally drop the text. We're getting close. You missed the instant replays? Well, don't worry. No instant replays here are missable. You can see all the action. In fact, a lot of it looks kind of the same. All right. We have officially done the trick. We passed. Well, I guess passing the blood was the interesting part. But hey, with that, we have skipped the combat tutorial, and we can grab the key to the first major area of the game. And also, I've been wanting to do this for the last, God, I don't know. Well, I think we entered this area around the 12-minute mark, and right now it's what, probably like 20 minutes almost. I'm actually really excited for this because I can finally. I've had like an itch on my eyebrow. I can finally grab it. Oh my God. Having the long hair is nice until, you know, it kind of slightly rubs against your head. And then you're holding the great knife for 20 minutes. And, you know, you don't think about it, but it's there. You work night shifts and always enjoyed the longer... Nice. I always enjoy the GDQ runs. They're nice times. I really like the being able to watch the last event. It was one of the first times that I was, I ended up staying home. And I actually got to watch it because when you're at the events, you don't always get to watch it. It's kind of weird that way. Not in a bad way. You end up just, you know, moving all around, lots of stuff to do. So it's kind of nice to just be able to, like, sit down, watch the runs. What about Mary? Well, we're going to find her. James is going to have a lot of time to find Mary. Did we have an instant replay of me scratching my head? Or maybe it was either way. Fun stuff. Oh, I guess I should also mention why I can't see the timer. So, something funny about this game, maybe if you're watching Silent Hill 2 at this point, I think the run's been longer with this tech than without it. But we do RNG manipulation on the game's RNG. Every puzzle in the game we'll know the answer to after the clock, because I set up the game in a certain way in order to get that done. That is why we had to start the timer a little bit weird. When I mentioned, oh, I'll go over it later. Hey, now is later, huh? But whenever you begin the game in a certain way, you're setting up seeds. So the seed we have right now is probably going to be, I don't know, it's usually like around 25. We're hoping to be somewhere in that range. Usually we'll know what we have by the clock, and then from there we can just kind of look up what we have on everything. But if you're wondering what does looking up what I have entail, it's basically I have a list of like 40 seeds, and we're usually going to be around the like 20 to 30 range. All right, and here's the first one of the game right here. When you get to this body, we're gonna have our first item pickup of the game. There it is, the apartment gate key. And now we can walk back. We're really carving a path here with the, the great knife. Dragging it through the city of Silent Hill. Also, I guess something kind of funny is, as I've been running this category throughout the years, Silent Hill has changed a lot as a franchise, and there's been quite a lot that's been, I suppose, open in a good way. We've gotten more games. There's been just a lot more Silent Hill hype in the world. It's been nice. Masterful pickup, of course. Why isn't there any game? Actually, wait, the game audio vanished. Hold on, it did vanish. I don't know what happened to my game audio. I guess I could ask Richard if he hears it, but I'm not seeing it on my end for some reason. You know, we can hear the ASMR sounds, maybe. My computer was having some issues earlier, so maybe it's not bad. The estimate's about in 3 hours for this. Okay. Let me pause the game real quick here. Boom. All right. It should be quick. I should be able to fix it. Hopefully my computer will be all right. Okay. Game audio should work. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. I feel like my computer's been attacked by a ghost lately. There we go. It's back. All right. I have saved the audio. And you have to understand, sometimes you miss the game audio because, you know, the sound of the great knife just is like music to the ears. Oh, we got it fixed. We got it fixed. Be good. No, my thing's been bugging out. I'm not sure why. My computer's been having some issues. Hopefully it won't be a longer problem. I'll keep an eye on it. All right, there we go. Now we're back to the sweet, sweet sounds of the great knife. Perfect. Oh, we are making pretty good progress. Also, I just realized something, and I guess something kind of funny. All right, hold on. We're gonna have to do a makeup strat here. I forgot something. It will save us some time, a little bit of time. In a regular speedrun of this game, that key would take, like, this whole section is about 5 minutes. We're gonna grab this med kit. Ready? Also, James is faking it. He picked up the great knife one-handed. That's the fun of this. He does it for the love of the game. But something like that is, I did miss a health pickup earlier I probably should have grabbed. It's not the end of the world. We'll make it work. But food for thought on that one. There we go. I could kind of fix my hair more. I do apologize, by the way. A lot of my setup is kind of just getting, I guess, hopping out of bed in a way. That's a lot of longer hours as of lately. Been playing some odd games. But that's April Fool's time for you. So, one of the worst parts of the remake is the great knife is not really a major part of it. Instead of being a weapon, it's a puzzle item, and, I mean, it's kind of neat for when you use it, but you can't drag it throughout the entire game, sadly. You can't use it to attack anything. They make it into a, like, you have to, like, get the great knife to walk through an area, and, like, you keep the move, like, you know, you have to, like, use the great knife walking like this, which I guess is kind of fun, but it's not the same, you know, you can't swing it around. which is a little bit upsetting. Oh, I'm thinking the audio probably went out because I had to reboot the game or something. All right, and with that, we are out of the first split of the game. This would be around the 5-minute mark of a run that's about 50 minutes, let's say. Or more like 45 minutes or something, or 44 minutes. All right, now we are in the apartment. Can you imagine lugging this thing upstairs, by the way? I feel like it'd be like hitting every step. So, what changes now that we're indoors? Now that we're indoors, we're going to start seeing enemies. Enemies are a bit of a problem. Now, I know, oh, why would enemies be a problem? Well, enemies are a bit of a problem because, as you may notice, we're not exactly moving all that fast. We do have a couple of things here to keep in mind. One, we mostly want to be moving with the light off, even when we have the flashlight. Enemies are more prone to attack you if the light is on. Usually, this isn't a huge deal because you could run past them. But right now, running past them is, not the greatest option we have. That guy is waddling faster than we're moving. But luckily, we sneak right by him, get in this door, and now we get the flashlight. I love that his shadow is just dragging that. We got the flashlight. And hopefully we won't have a bad spawn on the enemy. Oh my god, there are two. Oh no. Oh no. Hold on. Masterful play. You see that right there? Perfect. The double swing. They tried to come at us, and they missed. And that's why the Great Knife is so great. It actually is a really good weapon. Now, there is a drawback, and you may be wondering, oh, if you one-shot them, why is that impressive? So, well, we did one-shot them. The Great Knife is not very good in corridors such as this. The reason why is because the Great Knife does have real physics. It will bounce off walls. So, while you're going through, if you hit a wall, it will bounce off that wall. Sometimes that's good. However, in cases like that, you can actually miss. Which, you know, that would be bad. We also do have, funny enough, a trick here. You actually do this in the main run, but it's not really as important, but now it will be important. There are two things we must do on the third floor. One, we need to get the gun. Even if you have the Great Knife, you still need the gun because the game won't continue unless you have it. Kind of a nice thing like, oh, you don't have a weapon, go get a weapon. Or an actual weapon. Because normally by this point you'd only have a plank of wood, so it's like, oh, go get your gun. Now, the other thing we have to do is we have to talk to Laura and meet Laura so she can stomp our hand, so, you know, while the key is there. We go get the gun first, and then we're gonna go talk to the key, basically. The reason for this is because if you talk to the key and then get the gun, when you come back through this hallway, enemies will start to spawn. So, to prevent the enemy from spawning in this hallway, we're actually gonna grab the gun first, and then we'll be grabbing the key. You'll actually see as we go through. I guess you won't see as we go through, but you know what I mean. I will say, Silent 2 normally is a lot faster. The reason for this category is it is currently April 1st. And I thought it would be funny. I like whimsy. I think more people, you know, can use a little laugh. And, I mean, it is called The Game's Done Quick, after all. Anyway, there's the key. We interact with the cutscene, and hey, now we can go meet, we can really scare someone. Because right now, we're about to get one of the coolest scares of the game. Funny enough, when I first played this game, when I was, I think back in, like, college, I was actually pretty scared of this game. And one of the cool things about it is there's an awesome jump scare coming up. And it's going to be a little funny with that because I suppose it might be a little bit confusing for our friend. And we won't be the ones being scared this time. Also, look, he's faking. He picked up the knife. Alright, so no enemies are in this hallway right now. They kind of despawn everything for a little bit. Because in this corridor, you're supposed to get a jump scare. And what might that jump scare be? Oh god, we can't even get to the end of the hallway to see it. We'd already be seeing it at this point. No, this is not the new Resident Evil. That was actually on the last script, funny enough. Behind that gate. Also, hold on, let me do this because I need to refresh the door. Hey, look, it's Pyramid Head. You know why he's red? Because he's seething red. He's mad. He's mad because we took his knife. This is his weapon, and we took it from him. You ever right here at seeing red? Yeah. Ooh, okay, there we go. Alright, but now we're back here. We will have some enemies in this hallway. I do have to be careful. Although, I did kill two. I wonder if they're going to be here or not. Like, they might actually be despawned, is the funny thing. And you should be. It's a scary game. That you should be. Wait, I think the two enemies I killed were the enemies that normally block this path. I think we got really lucky with that kill. You're looking forward to Resident Evil? Well, I have good news about Resident Evil. The last Crypt VOD on GD... Actually, I think the VOD's probably been uploaded, but either the last one uploaded or the one on YouTube, should be on YouTube at some point, has a couple of Resident Evil Requiem runs. Oh god, there they are! Alright, hold on. I think I can outrun them. I think I can outmaneuver them. Alright, what a masterful play. Just skip right on by. But, I do have to be careful. Hopefully they won't be waiting for me outside this door. Hopefully. Only one way to find out. Oh my god, and they're not even there. No, this is not a rerun. Decided to bring back one of the greatest categories ever seen. I think we're being followed, by the way. I'm gonna do some shenanigans, hold on. I hope he's not right behind me. Also, I probably should have killed those guys to run to pass them, but you know what? We made it past them, no worries. And I did hear about the Resident Evil Classic, funny enough. I did hear about that. Also, I guess it is kind of funny, because it's like, well, we should have had a show on April 1st. I don't know if GDQ did anything last April Fools. I guess it really depends on who had the show, but... yeah. Got able to catch it live? Hey, we'll be here for a good deal of time. This is a bit of a speedy run, as they say. And now, we have something very exciting. We have RNG manipulation. It looks like I'm at 10:06. I have some excellent news for everyone. That is a very good seed. That is some amazing RNG. We had 10:06. We are on 28. That's very, very good there. Also, I think there's health back here. Yeah. I'm gonna make a slight detour. Hold on. That little detour is gonna cost us a billion years. But don't worry, I'll be okay. Why isn't there a great knife too? Because Konami's afraid to add in one of the greatest weapons in the game. An entire production of Hamlet. Oh, of course. High-octane knife gameplay. You know, out of all the games I speedrun, I think this category is one of the most intense. Which I guess I do get to talk a little bit more to the Crypt audience than... Oh, wait, hold on. We have combat. Sorry about that. We have to get ready. Alright, hold on. I need a couple hits there. This is fun. Alright, we conked him in the head. Whoa, I'm already pretty low on health. Like I was kind of a menace. I think we'll be okay with that. We'll keep it. Oh no, he's coming back! You know what? Double tap him. I missed! Run! Oh, oh my god, he actually got me. Hold on. Why was I on death hit? He hit me twice! Okay, you know what? That's fair. We had our first death. Luckily for us, one of the best parts about this run... First off, we're gonna heal. One of the best parts about this run. One of the best parts. We are always saving the game. So don't worry about deaths. Deaths are considered okay in this run. Hold on. Deaths are considered okay, so we can just load right back in, like nothing happened. God, I didn't know that guy would hit so hard. He hit me like, what, 3 times? Alright, hold on. Now I know I'm on death hit. You'll have to be a little bit careful. I missed. Uh-oh, we're getting surrounded. Okay. I think we're good. Alright. He is right behind me, though. Make a save. How dare you follow me in my footsteps? Alright, there we go. So this is the fun part about enemies. Enemies are almost never an issue, but in this case, they are. I don't believe I'm on death hit. I'm like riding one above. We should be alright. You know what? I'm glad I grabbed that second health kit. The health drink very much came in handy. I knew there was a reason we'd want it. Alright, hit. Nice. Hopefully you're dead. Uh-oh. I'm gonna make a save, but I'm a little bit worried I might be on death hit. Hopefully we're not. We're gonna save very intermittently so we don't, you know, we're not left in a bad position. Gonna gauge the safety of the area. I think we're good. Almost. Alright, we are now safe once again. We've done it. Yeah, there are a few bits of combat that are pretty tough, and we will have some solutions around them. Sometimes the answer we're going to have to do, unironically, is kind of getting good. We are going to have to take some of these fights and make sure we don't eat too many hits. For what it's worth, as the game does open up, we will have more leeway, mainly because the game's going to have a lot more health, and that is going to be beneficial. Now, you may also be wondering, why don't I heal to full right now? So, Silent Hill 2 does have a bit of a neat gimmick, and what happens is, around the midpoint of the game, there's going to be a section that will put me on 1 health, or like low health. I don't think it's exactly 1, but we'll have like basically going from max health to like maybe 10% or something like that. You don't want to heal too much before that in a run, because if you do, you're basically going to be wasting those health kits. So in our case, as long as we're not dead before we get to that point, we don't have to worry about our health as much, as long as we're not actively dead. So if you ever see me just kind of like testing out death hit and barely healing, that would be why. Even more so, the first boss of the game will... If he touches you, you die. It's short and simple there. So, ideally, we don't want to die. We are making some pretty good progress. We're making our way to the next wing of the apartment, which is usually a little bit easier. Now, we can talk a little bit about enemies and what enemies are going to be harder. So, the lying figure is normally a pretty easy enemy, but on Great Knife only, they actually end up being a little bit tougher. The reason why is because, unlike a lot of the other enemies in this game, they have a ranged attack. Every other enemy has to kind of get in your range and, you know, respect the Great Knife. They're one of the only ones who can kind of body you because, you know, they can hit you before you can get to them. That being said, you can still kind of, you know, dance around them and hit them even from a greater range, because the Great Knife is pretty great. But in cases like this, we do have to be careful. We also are going to be hitting a point that we might end up healing. I'm going to be keeping an eye out on our health. We're going to be very careful coming up, because we're hitting a fight that normally is not a hard fight. Normally, it's not that hard. Right now, it's going to get pretty hard. And you may be wondering, why? Why? We're going to be hitting the pool, and also a couple of open areas. I think I have 2 full med kits. We should be good. I'll be getting another med kit soon. I think another health drink, too. We do got to be a little bit careful here. Ready? First things first, we're gonna drop down the sodas we got. The juice. Keep the light off. We're gonna be heading back down. Here we go. Once we head to the back door here, actually, I guess we'll be going to the front first to go get the coin. Right now, objective-wise, what we're doing a couple of things in this spot. One, we're grabbing 3 coins. One of them is actually in the trash compartment. One of them is in the pool, and then the other one's on the other side of the map. But we also do need to talk to Eddie to make the game progress. The game has like, oh, you must do blank, or the door's locked, or something like that. So we're making sure we do all of these things, so we'll be good. Walking back will not be very good for us. Alright, there's the coin. And we actually do get a little bit of tech here. I start moving before the screen fades in. And you can see how far we went, which was like 2 steps. Now we enter the pool. Alright. So, there are going to be 3 enemies in the pool. And we're going to want to be very, very careful. You can hear them as we speak. Alright, let's see now. Need a mod to disable the knife scraping sound. Well, I have some good news. The regular runs of this game do not have this. Mainly because you're never using this knife to move around. Alright, there they are. Alright, I think we can lab it in a little bit. I'm actually going to get some distance to start off with. I think I want to go on the other side of the pool. Alright, here we go. Dropping in. Okay. Let's gain some distance. Need a hit there, that's fine. Oh, I only have 1 health kit. Oh, that's less fun. Please hit. Oh, I got the double! Alright. One dead, one alive. He didn't see me. Now he saw me. Alright, he's currently beating the brakes off me. I think I can ignore him. I don't think we need to deal with it. Hold on. I can hit one more time. It's bad. I think we're out. I think we're out. I think we can make this work. I am down a health kit, unfortunately. But we're out of the pool. You know what? I think we take it. We're not on death hit. We're only gonna have like maybe one more enemy before the next health kit, or one more set of enemies. I think we take that. We don't have any health kits left though, so we are gonna be tactical about the quick save. But I think we take that. All right, I told you. You know, you look away for 5 minutes and you miss all the action. It's really hard to say. Just staring away from the screen for 20 minutes. And a lot that can happen in that frame of time. Alright, hold on, I missed. Missed again? Hold on. Alright, hold on. They might have me. We might need to do the reload. Alright, hold on. That's about it. Let's just reload. Let's reload. We're in a bad position. Okay. Alright, not there. Okay, one down. Please do not crawl. Okay, good. Okay, that was a lot cleaner. I had a feeling. I think I want to save it. Let's just risk it. Let's risk it. Let's risk it. I think this room might have health. No, it only has ammo. Okay. We're in a bit of a rough spot, but that's okay. We are going to play it really safe in this next hallway. There's about 2 points we can die right now for our next health kit. Make the intermittent saves. They are walking away. That's good. They're afraid of us. They know our power. They're more afraid of us than we are of them. All right, one down, one more to go. It's going pretty good. And here we go. Okay. One more set of enemies, and we are golden. We got the coins, got almost everything. We are going to be lower on health than I would like, but I think we can make it work. There's a health kit and a health drink coming up, I think. So a little risky, but we'll see how it goes. We just got to keep in mind on the quick save, quick load. I don't hear anyone. That's good. Cockroaches are fine. They won't hit us as long as the light's off. All right, no enemies. Just in case he wants to, you know, nibble at my feet, I'll make intermittent saves. Make sure he's blocking the door, dude. He is gunning for us. Fun. Okay. Good. Very good. Very good. And with that, I think we're officially in safe. We're officially safe. Because right here, I know there's a medkit. Also, we now get a new enemy type. The mannequins, which the mannequins are a lot nicer. Oh, hey, there's my alarm to wake up. Rise and shine. Rise and shine. Hey, don't worry. It's pretty easy to go over to my alarm clock and press the button during a run such as this. And some excellent news. There we go. It's going pretty good. I do need to be careful in this next hallway. It can get pretty brutal. As well, I want to play it safe, as right now no one's hitting me. We do get a medikit. Intermittent saves are gonna be good here. Alright, clean. Now, we're going to absolutely style on someone. Also, there's no... I thought there'd be health back there. There's not. I know there's ammo in this room, but we don't need that. Here's Angela. She has a moderately okay knife. It's not really great. Unfortunately for her, she was ashamed of her knife and she gave it to us. She was hoping that we can make her knife great. So now we have Angela's knife. It's actually kind of funny because, like, it is an item, an ending item in a way. It's kind of goofy, but that's working out. Also, that I know what that is. That's the white, like, Claudia. Okay. So I do feel good going into Pyramid Head. We are approaching our first boss in a moment here. Fine. I suppose it's fine. Not great, but fine. We are approaching Pyramid Head. Pyramid Head is going to be a bit of a menace coming up. I am a little worried. This fight never goes well. I don't know if we're on Death Hit either. I don't think we are. And ideally, I'd rather not, like, you know, test out the boundaries of that. But, with this excitement of the game, we are actually approaching the first boss. Now, the first boss has a couple of mechanics. Mechanic number 1. You can outwait him. You can wait 5 real minutes, and he'll eventually go away. Or, you can do enough damage to him, and that will also make him go away. Obviously, the more damage you do, the better, and we have a tool of good damage. We will have to make a save beforehand. This is usually where we get deaths. I know we don't have a deathless run right now, but hey, maybe we can get Pyramid Head deathless. If we do, that's going to be some big time save. Alright, there's the key. And it's time. This boss fight does also have some really weird strats as a result of everything, because it's going to be Great Knife versus Great Knife. Double Great Knife action. We're going to see whose knife is truly great. Now, first things first, there are 2 enemies at the end of this hallway. We will make a safety save early while we deal with them, make sure we're good. Alright, that was clean. Also clean. And I think we just go for it. Ready? Okay. Let's go! It's time! Oh! Going for the grab immediately. Going for the punch. Hold on, I'm gonna go for a heal. All right, he punched me to death. I knew we weren't going to get this deathless. That's all right. It's no fair. He has had more experience with the knife than we have. Okay. Wait, I'm cornered. I can't get out of the corner. I'm out. Okay, that one was better. We had the right idea. We had the right idea. It's all about the execution. Might take a few attempts. Okay, good, he missed. All right, he had a mighty swing. I had a mighty swing. And he's down. See? Who has the great knife? Not you, chump. You better run away. See, chat, we have to chase after him, but he's too fat. He's been using it long. Okay, actually pretty good. Actually pretty good. I'm surprised. That actually ended up being pretty good right there. I'm surprised. What, third try? I thought that's better than we normally do. All right, and with that, we are out of the first major hub. Honestly, the health we have is just really good there. I'm kind of surprised. But hey, we can do a little more healing. Also, just in case I'm okay losing a bit of time. I know we're gonna be, you know, I know it's quite far, but I do think grabbing this medkit right here would be good. So far, so good. Pyramid dead, exactly. I'm also surprised that kind of worked. I also need a sneeze. Not there yet, but we'll get there. Alright, but hey, we're not doing too bad so far. Honestly, out of the apartments, I feel good about that. What? We had 4 deaths in the apartments total. See, I'm wondering what happened last time. I feel like I didn't do Pyramid Head that quickly. I feel like I died more than usual there. Hey, that's the nature of speedrunning. You know, you get better at the game. Which I would hope I was getting better at this game. Alright, and then we meet Laura, who's absolutely terrified because she's been hearing this scraping for the last hour in the town. So now we're gonna run away to the park. And we're gonna meet Maria. Now, Maria's kind of funny. Normally in this game, Maria's not a huge deal. More or less, she's like, you know, a pretty easy escort mechanic. But the funny thing about that is, usually you'll run room to room basically ignoring her, right? In this case, it's a little bit different. Because Maria wants to match our movement speed. And not only do I need to defend myself from enemies, I also need to defend her from enemies. Luckily though, Maria is going to be pretty good at distracting enemies for me. So she's going to be kind of like a tank now. And that should come in handy. Run. Oh, yes. Run. Oh, so here's a neat little glitch. It doesn't really save time because you could just skip the cutscene anyway, but James could just slowly walk away. Bye, James. Normally you'd be going so fast you break the screen, but we don't... You know, we're going a little bit slower than usual, as you might imagine. Now, another funny thing, talking about Maria as a mechanic. While she does have the opportunity to tank for us, we can accidentally hit her. If Maria gets hit by the Great Knife, she's immediately dead. Which, yeah, no, that might be a bit of a problem. Also, really quick, while we're meeting Maria and we have a moment of time, I just do want to remind everyone that, as a quick GDQ announcement, Speedruns 6 will be live from May 7th to the 10th, and GDQ will be hosting the official English restream. You can use !Speedruns in chat to learn more, and submit by April 10th if you'd like to commentate any of the runs. Without announcements, alright. Here's Maria. Now we have her, and she's following along my Great Knife. You're kind of see her bob her head into the screen. You know, she wants to keep up pace. Kind of like a whole follow the leader thing. Also, I guess a nice part of this run is while I'm doing this, I can actually get a cough drop because I talk a lot. Which enemy are we going for? Whatever we get. They're all basically going to be the same in terms of what we do. I feel like we're probably going to get in water. The funny thing is, we'll probably get in water. As an overhead swing with the knife, instant death to anything but bosses. No, actually. On hard mode, the knife sometimes will kill people in one hit. Sometimes it won't. That actually becomes a bit of a problem because we do need to actually double tap sometimes. Not all the time, mind you, but enough where we have to kind of keep it in mind. So whenever we kill an enemy, we are going to have to keep an eye on them to make sure they're not going to get back up. Because if an enemy gets back up, that will get really, you know, obviously kind of bad, I guess. So we wouldn't want that. Also, don't mind me for not mashing the game save button right now. I'm playing with one hand while I try getting a cough drop out with the other hand. Which is not easy. I didn't realize unwrapping a cough drop one-handed was going to be hard. But I guess it kind of is. We will make a save before we need to, though. Because one is coming up. Alright, looks like I got it. Job well done. We did it. Alright, so action gameplay right now. Right now, there's going to be a mannequin coming up. We also get some health in this little corridor. Alright, there it is. Excellent job. Hold on, double tap. Excellent job, Maria. You've done it. All right. What a great round of Silent 2 right there. I'm glad that Maria knows her role of tank. See? It's perfect. Also, I guess something kind of funny with Silent 2 really quick as we're kind of continuing through this area. A lot of you like to ask why. I like to ask why not. And by that, what I really mean is, oh my god, he's right on. Maria, get him. Get him, Maria. Get him, get him. Hopefully the double. All right, got the double. Oh wait, I didn't. Oh, he's still alive. Good job, Maria. I'm proud of you. Okay, so the point I'm making though is I really like Silent 2, and I don't know. At one point, I actually ended up routing the plank only category in this game. Plank only is basically kind of like knife only. Not great knife only. Let's say a regular, like Resident Evil has knife only, it would be kind of like that. Or you're mainly using the starter weapon to, you know, get it going. So, it was pretty fun to route back in the day. So it's nice. Rather than knife on the ground is making it dull. What if I told you that Silent Hill is entirely made out of sharpening stones? All right, good stuff. Good job, Maria. Now my camera's shifting and I can't really see. Hold on. Hopefully they didn't see me. Oh no! Maria, run! Actually, I don't think he's gonna be able to catch me. I think he keeps attacking. Why do we have a conga line right now? There's like one guy right behind us. There's me, the Great Knife, and Maria, and the one lying figure. He's gaining on us, Maria. You gotta hurry. God, it's right behind us, too. Look at that. I guess, listen to that. All right, almost there. We're at the bowling alley. Could you imagine we get a April Fool's PB on the GDQ Hotfix of this run? Clearly we'll have to submit it to GDQ if that happens. Clearly. Alright, there's Eddie and Laura.
Did you find the lady you're looking for? What's her name? Mary?
Making pretty good progress so far. Also, one of the really cool parts about this game, or about this category, is you get to listen to some of the really cool songs a lot longer than usual. Because, you know, we're just here longer than normal. Anyway, Eddie tells us, well, he didn't tell us, but Laura runs away to the hospital because, you know, she heard the sounds of the Great Knife coming. However, would she have known? I can't believe it. And yep, it is another episode of the Crypt Static. It's a good time. All right, there's Maria. I don't know how she's out of breath. She like doing laps while we're inside the bowling alley. You haven't really been running a whole lot, Maria. It happens. Thank you, Super Rush. Anyway, I hope that you've all seen some good April Fool's jokes so far for the holiday. I feel like I've been seeing less and less every year. I don't know if it's just me. Maybe. I don't know. I always kind of enjoyed things like, you know, people being silly and stuff. Although I do think there's a fine line between silly and mean. I'm not always a fan of mean, but silly is nice. Bit of whimsy, wonder. No? Yeah. We're losing our whimsy. A lot of people are losing our whimsy. That is true. The world can be hard for silly people sometimes. So, it's kind of nice to keep the spirit alive. You know, give you a bit of a chuckle. Bit of a laugh. Also, more good news. We do have a couple of little segments coming up. For one, we are going to be having our next health kit. We'll make sure to grab that. Will be important. And then after that, we'll be entering the hospital. We'll finally be able to heal to full. We no longer have to be on, like, barely any health. We can actually heal to full. Also, I guess for April Fools, I learned a funny speedrun recently. Every April Fool is usually on my own personal side. I did actually like that one. I did like that one, Lazarus. The James body pillow was a funny idea. What was it saying? Ah, yes. Every April Fool season, I try to pick games that are a little bit out of left field for me, or the games that are silly. And recently, I learned a speed run for the video game Jackass, which is the yeah, no, it's exactly what you think it is. It ended up being pretty funny. It's a dumb game, but I don't know. I've been having a lot of fun with it. All right, and with that, we're almost at the hospital. See, I gotta do the gamer lean to really lock in. We are going to have a lot more enemies. You do have to be careful. Oh, my back. That's a good crack. Making good time. Making good time. Exactly. Also, I guess it's been kind of nice. You know, as the years go by, I feel like people have different motivations and things, and I don't know. Ever since this year started, I've been feeling a lot better about my own personal speedruns. I feel like, you know, part of the excitement of GDQ is always wanting to learn new things and always wanting to, you know, test out your, you know, your gaming. And it's always kind of nice to see what people get into. But I think this year I've learned more runs on pace so far than last year, so I'm really happy with that. I always try like learning new games, kind of keeping new and old in rotation. Not all games stick around for me, but it is kind of nice to do it. Yeah, the body pillow was pretty funny. I think last year Konami had the joke where you can buy a pillow, a white pillow that James uses in game. Which admittedly that's pretty funny. Stupid, but it is funny. All right, now we are in the hospital. How is this gonna work? Well, we do need to grab 2 regular keys, and then we have 2 numerical keys. The numbered keys are going to be really easy. Luckily for us, we already know the answer. So all we have to do... all we're going to have to do is grab 1 more key. It's kind of funny because the hospital ends up going pretty fast, but for Grey Knife only, this is where we're going to have a bit of a deviation. This hallway is going to be kind of lethal. I'm going to do the same thing we did with the Pyramid Head. I'm not kidding either. This part does get kind of difficult. First, we're going to go down here. I'm gonna let the nurse just walk away. I don't have to interfere with her. She's not bothering anyone. And yeah, I've been wanting to do the Dead Rising full series again. It's kind of been a minute since I've gotten around. Oh, not the shotgun shells. There we go. It's been a while since I've done any of the full series marathons I normally like doing. Okay. We got one key, though. But now, we need to get one other item, which is going to be a... All right, hold on, here we go. Ready? I missed! Also, I'm on death hit. I did not know I was on death hit. I did not know that one. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. We can make this work. Much better. Maria, get out of the way! I'm blocked in. Maria, get him! Alright, hold on. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. This is better. This is going better. This is going better. That's fine. We're gonna have a couple of deaths here. But I think we should be fine. We just have to get back in position. Don't do the overhead. Ready? Ready? I think this is gonna be the one. Alright, one death. The nurse is still alive, though. Okay, I should have healed. That's all right. Maria's doing her best. Wait. Maria! Wait, hold on. Maybe? We're in the clear. We did it. We did it. We got out. All right, that was good. That was very, very good. Exactly, Naliki. Exactly. That was, we did it. And the game does get kind of dark. But the problem is, if we do not turn out the flashlight, they will be more aggressive. All right. Some very exciting news coming up. We are almost at the part where I no longer need to be on 0 health. That's what's important. Now, we do have one more fight coming up I'm a little worried about. We're going to have a guard at the door. And unfortunately, we're losing our tank. Do you know how sad that is to lose your tank? I also can't see. Maybe. Okay, hallway is now safe. That was actually pretty good. Also, the answer is always the same. I didn't think that would hit. I'm glad it did. All right, good. One down. Two down. All right, and Maria is gone. Get the rooftop key. Hopefully there are no more enemies in this hallway. Oh no! Oh no! Run! I had a feeling. I had a feeling. That's okay. That's okay. What save was that? What? Oh, right, they respawned. Run, Maria, run. Maria, get out of the way. Okay, Maria got in the way. Okay, hold on. We have a bit of a problem. This is a very awkward save. Because the enemies weren't dead. Good spot. Maria, why? Why is she getting away? Oh my god. Alright, we were good until, I guess, they respawned. We got an unlucky respawn. That's alright. We can make it work. Alright, Maria's not into contributing, I suppose. I'll be alright. Still make it work. Actually, I have an idea. Wait, what am I doing? Alright, that was a bad idea. It's such an awkward spot to be in. How do you solve a problem like this? We just need Maria to cooperate. So the issue is, sometimes what will happen is that enemies aren't considered dead despite the fact that they're dead. And this is one of those times. And sometimes Maria needs to get out of the way. I feel like oh god, the worst part about this is she just needs to get out of the way. Yeah, I had a feeling it was gonna be bad the moment they respawned. Alright, that was pretty good movement-wise. See, this would be so easy if I could do my wide swing. But we have a problem. I feel like most of the problem right now is just Maria not... Oh my god. Well, you know, we had a good pyramid head. I knew something was going to go wrong at some point, right? Okay, one. Alright. That's fine. I could avoid greeting. Like, I know if we heal, we'll be safer. We shouldn't heal. There is a very good position we can get in now. Also, I liked how I walk. Alright, that one, I know the problem with that one. Come on, walk backward, not forward. There we go. That's better. Alright, so bonk on the head. Maria, backward now. Backward, backward, backward. Play it safe, just in case. I don't want to die. Oh my god, Maria. Why? Also, why is James not swinging the other way? Brenna's curse. It was going so good until I got the weird respawn. This might be it. Maria, get in there. Wait. Make the save. In front of the door. Okay. Just in case. I am getting some super aggressive nurses. My God. All right, at least that time I expected the problem. All right, and I have some excellent news. One, we kept the health kit, and with that, we don't have to worry. I think we got it. I don't know how much time we lost off that those shenanigans. I think it always goes that bad. I don't actually know. I just want to know to we compare to the old run from last year. But that was pretty good until then. Oh my, I didn't go far enough down. Oh, that's gonna be 1,000 hours lost right there because I didn't go far enough down. Okay, there we go. That should be better. Okay. Okay. Now, the upside of all of this is that Pyramid Head's not happy with us, so he's gonna take his great knife. He's calling us a poser. So, I went from having death hit to being on death hit. As a result, the whole point... Uh-oh. Wait, did I gain health? The whole point of that. Hold on. There we go. And we're doing good. We're doing good. By doing all of that, we now can finally heal. I'm no longer going to be losing all of my health in the middle of the game. So the run is a little bit safer now. I'm not in range quite yet, that's fine. Alright, good. Dead. And we have one more mannequin at the back. Alright, we might be out of the hallway. Now, the funny thing is, we've been keeping RNG manipulation in mind this whole time. But the answer is going to be 3316 and 1778. Nice. Yeah, the cost of this game has gone up a little bit. Also, why is that music still playing? Am I just permanently in danger? What's going on here? What determines the RNG? How you boot into the game. Determined right at the beginning, and we can tell where we are based on the clock. Alright, we got the elevator key, and we're now getting ready for the second actual boss. And everyone, I have some very exciting news. Prison toy. Oh, the game's breaking. That's what's happening. Alright, looks like it's fixed. The music had finally stopped. Alright, so behind this door coming up, we'll be hitting the next boss right here. Before we go in, we're going to, I think, heal twice. Let's make a save. Let's go for this boss. Alright, so this is Flesh Lips. One of the funniest things about this fight is that I think this fight's gonna be easier than usual. Well, provided they want to get in range. But our goal is we need to take down 2 Flesh Lips and then a third will spawn. It's a good deal of damage on all of them. 1 down. I think that's 2 down. Wow, that was a really clean fight. And I think I'm in prime position right here to just begin next phase. I missed! No! The last one is a little bit more aggressive, though, so we do have to be careful. And that's dead? Yep, okay, what a fight. What a fight, and that was the Flesh Lip fight. And we are back in the, you know, the other side of the hospital, the Nightmare Hospital. I would say pretty good, although we do have to be a little bit careful. This is where it does get risky. Okay. There is also a bug here that we do not want to activate. It will be a little bit of a problem if we do, so we gotta be careful. Should be an enemy behind me, and I'm hoping it won't be that bad. I think this is the save I want to have. And I think what we should do is we should flee into this room, fix the camera, and it'll be all nice and fine. Plus, let's just have a safe room save. Alright, we got the key, we got the battery. And let's see where we're at. Hopefully, I don't think she's dead. Alright, now she's dead. Or I'm mistaken. Alright, now she's dead. Alright, pretty good spacing. I like that my attacks are so slow I can't get the double tap. Alright, the hallway is now safe. Yes, so I'm glad you noticed that. So, I mentioned earlier in the run, it is both to our detriment and to our benefit. But the great knife is, you know, it does have actual physics. Also, make a save right here just in case. This is gonna be our safety one just in case. So, on the one hand, it does do damage on the bounce back, which is good. Now, the problem is while it will do damage on the bounce back, it can also just, you know, entirely miss. Alright, I think we gotta run through it. I think we just run through it. Alright, we're outspeeding them. This is good. They lack the movement speed to keep up with our great speed. And in fact, we're gonna turn it around on them. Ready? Okay, she got the moves on me. Alright, hold on. How do they both get up from that is my question. I think we're in a safe spot. I got no damage, but I'm willing to take the trade-off. I'm willing to take the trade-off. Why call it a great knife? Because it's great. And it's a knife. With a great knife comes great power. And great speed. And I mean, it's only a fitting thing for, you know, GDQ April Fools. Games done. Yeah. The quick is also there. But it might not appear quick. Alright, now I have excellent news, everyone. Our tank is back. She has returned. He felt bad for us. Like, I get it. I totally get it. I feel bad for me too right now. Game's done funny. Well, I do like always watching the awful and silly blocks too. They're pretty nice. Okay, hopefully we'll be fine on some of the enemy spawns. I am a tad bit worried, but I think we should be alright. She came back for the knife. Ah, my great knife. Alright, same deal. We're gonna make a save. Oh, that's a rough camera angle. Walk into this. All right. One dead. Wait, the music lowered. Lowers a bard, Eddie is ranged. What about Angela? Can't forget about Angela. Okay, hopefully we should be fine. Also, I guess this is a good showing of just how hard the enemies hit. They're pretty brutal and hard. Okay, I think we're good. Angela's rogue. Well, I mean, her knife is not great. It's regular knife. She's a wizard. You're forming the... of course, the classes and all that, of course. Alright, it's weird. Okay, so the back half of the hospital was so much cleaner than the front half. Like, that's actually weird. I think I remember having more problems in the back half previously. But I guess we're fine. Kind of surprised we're fine, but we seem to be fine. So we're good. Okay. And with that, we're now getting ready for the next boss. So a lot of you who know this game may have been wondering, how are we going to do the Pyramid Head chase? For those of you who do not know, this is the part of the game where you enter an area. And as you proceed down the hallway, Pyramid Head will proceed to chase you at great speed. And funny enough, on hard mode, he is considered so fast, you almost can't keep up with him. So, obviously, with that, how would we keep up with him? The way we're going to be doing that is by utilizing a little speedrunner's trick. Glitch, mind you. A lot of the tech we've been doing earlier has been working, and kind of in the same idea that we were able to skip the tutorial fight, using the tech storage glitch allows you to bypass a lot of the game's happenings. So, we're gonna have to land a tech storage glitch and hold it long enough to make sure Parent Head will not chase us. Luckily it is pretty generous, so you just have to land it. There we go. It's now too dark, and we got Gant saved. Not game saved, not can't saved. Gant saved. So with Gant saved, we can kind of mosey down the hallway, nice and easy. And makes this little section a lot nicer. Can't saved. Now the funny thing as well is you can't actually drop this. Like, he will catch up until the very end. I love the stressful music while Maria is slowly walking into the screen. Also, do you know that James has been faking it the whole time? In fact, James is a cheater. Why? Well, allow me to show you why. Oh my god, he bolted! He was saving his one burst of speed, apparently. Also, it's a funny glitch. We can see it here. Oh no! They got parking lot. She's dead. Whatever will we do? He's a faker. He is faking it. He lies. You can't run this on console because you can't get the Great Knife on console like this. He does it for the love of the game. Also, I got another cop drop. I was trying to set that up. So that's why the cutscene was playing out. Alright, and now we get to enter the next massive open area. I don't know if this is the longest part of the run, but it might be. Like, once you're on this part, it's surprisingly home free. Alright, now we will chase after Laura. And for what it's worth, if Laura walks at a brisk pace, we'll never catch her. Alright. So, the open town. As long as we don't aggro anyone, we should be okay. In fact, I wonder. Now that I think about it, this should work, right? I don't know why I never thought about doing this. No, it didn't work. I hear him. I think I would have had to have done it earlier. Yeah, we'd have done it earlier. It's fine. But we should be okay. Right now, it's all about the listening. I see a nurse in my eyes. I see a nurse right there. You want to walk a very fine line right now. All right, made it to the end of the street. Gonna make the turn. There we go. Wait, I did miss the turn. There we go. Nice and fast. And also, the city gets dark at this time. It's very, very dark. We just want to make sure no nurses are coming out. Also, I'm pretty sure, ending-wise, we're absolutely getting in water. Like, 100%, I think we're getting in water. There's no chance we don't. Or no chance, like, we don't get that, I don't think. Maria got beat to death earlier. I've been on low health the entire run. Although, we will watch the entirety of that Mary cutscene at the end. So there's that, or the dialogue, I guess. Usually hard mode gets Maria. I don't know why. Hard mode almost always gets Maria. I don't know what it is. It's the way it works. Oh, I see a nurse. Hold on, man. Be careful. He's right there. Although I like how the enemies are so fast, they're just walking beyond me. Like, they don't even try to keep up with me. Pretty quick. All right. As long as she stays on the sidewalk and doesn't approach me, we'll be okay. Hopefully she won't. We are catching up. Uh-oh. Think I can outrun her. Good. Good. God, you never really realize how long this street is. Okay. There's a nurse right there. Actually, I'm not even sure how I'm able to see some of this stuff. I just sort of, I guess, am decently familiar with the game's, habitat. God, I want to see if I can keep an eye on her, but the camera keeps shifting back. It's kind of funny that we're just straight up following the nurse. Like, this is actually the way we need to go. Where is she going? Like, I don't think I've ever seen a nurse walk this far. Like, what is her grand idea? What is her strategy? God, I feel bad for her. Can you imagine just going for a nighttime walk, and then meanwhile, right behind you, you just hear... Maybe she's just trying to get home, man. And she's listening to the sounds of the great knife. Scraping. All right, we are shockingly making it. I think we're almost there. All right, good stuff. Now, I might be able to get away with shenanigans. I might try it. I'm actually kind of wondering if this is going to work. I've never tried it before, but in theory, it should, right? Because normally you can just run through this hallway, no problem. But I'm not also, hold on, just in case I might want to heal. I don't think I'm on death hit, but there's a chance I can get my feet poked. And I do not want my feet poked. Okay, ready? Okay. I think I hear them anyway. I'm not too sure. I'm hoping by entering the room, I'm preventing them from spawning in. Usually there's a little, I believe the enemy is called the Mandarin. They're underneath you and they will poke your feet. In fact, I think I hear, I don't know. I don't know if I hear them or not. Maybe. And if this works, it's going to work really well. And this is the fast type of speed running. For April Fools, we had to show a real speedy category to games done quick. Real lightning speed. I actually do think this despawned them. That actually is a little bit of time save. Look at that. 3 time save. Maybe. Wait. No, I did not. Oh my god, no, I did not. Okay, chat, I'm beginning to understand something really funny here. You might laugh, in fact. I was going so slow, he went to the other end of the map. Never mind, I'm a liar. But we do have tech here. Now, this one is intentional. Also, I will play a little bit safe too, because why not? Let's play a fun game for those of you who've been keeping up with almost 2 hours of great knife action. Does anyone remember the second trick of the game? And allow me to remind you, if you forgot. The second trick of the game was we had no, we can't go back. I have to find Mary, right? There's no time to go back. I have to find Mary. We use the text to avoid the tutorial. Remember that? One of the funniest things about that trick, as we're going back through the town, the tutorial is still active if you don't walk into it. Why is that relevant, you might ask? Well, right now, the position we have to be in is slightly past that spot. So we have to go back through the tutorial area slightly. If I walk through there without it's too dark to read the map, it will force me to go to a tutorial and the game will absolutely break because it doesn't know what it wants me to do. So we have to hold this text once again to make sure we do not do that. But this does also have an added benefit. In addition to, being able to skip the tutorial, in this area, this will also despawn all the enemies. So, normally you'll see nurses and mannequins running around, but by using this, we're basically going to ignore them. So it works out pretty well. Although, the downside of that is there is a bit of time where we are going to have to walk in the dark more than we would like. I do know it is a little bit hard to see. It will be even harder in a moment because the camera's not going to be on James. So hopefully we'll be all right. Okay. It's coming up. It is kind of neat that you do get to explore the map like this. Also, I wish I had more water, but I don't think I can get water for at least another hour. We'll have to wait. Well, I mean, I guess I could wait until this, little section's done, because I can grab... I still have some left. Drink water. It's healthy. You can see darkness. Me too. Me too. Alright, we're almost at the end of this little street. Here we are. Once you see like 3 dumpsters, we'll know we're at the end. Okay. Actually, no, it's the telephone. The dumpster was earlier. All right, here we go. Make the turn. The camera will switch. Wait, am I going the right way? There we are, I am. I almost second-guessed myself. All right, we grab the wrench with our knees, and now we get to do that again. Almost there. Almost there. Keep in mind, we are going to have to hold this. And yeah, it's kind of goofy because the gray knife only takes a good amount of the base game. Like, you're still doing the, like, we are actually doing the speedrun entirely. It's not like it's not a speedrun at all, right? It just, you're basically moving at a snail's pace, and as a result, you have to account for a lot more than you think, which is usually the enemies in this game are way more brutal than you would expect. Which is kind of nice. You end up having to remember a lot more where a lot of the health is, a lot of the safety strats, stuff like that. Becomes pretty important. Oh, hey. One of the cracks. It's pretty good. I almost dropped the too dark to read the map. I don't want to drop this yet. There are enemies in this area I would rather avoid. It's also kind of weird because the indoor sections aren't as long as you think. I think mainly because even with the great knife, you don't really notice the weight of this, the weight of the speed, I guess, because a lot of them are really tight-knit anyway. So it sort of just ends up working out. Also, yeah, I just realized GDQ has the streak thing, doesn't it? I wonder what the longest GDQ streak is so far for the stream streaks. I know some of them have been kind of long, so I'm wondering a little bit. Yeah, we are related. We are related. There's the turn. We have one more left turn, and we're almost done with one area. So Maria is no longer in the run. She's entirely gone. I mean, she's not gone, but like, she's not going to be a problem anymore. The only real problem was in the hospital, where it can get kind of rough. I can't believe she got in the way like 5 times. Maybe it was more than 5, I don't know. A lot. Okay. We'll miss parking lot? We will. We will see her again at least once, but we will miss parking lot. In a way, too, I guess this is, this run is kind of listening to the ASMR sounds of Silent Hill with great knife dragging, all the ambient noises. She wanted to be on the stream. Oh, yeah, she really wanted to have her 5 minutes of fame, of course. All right, there's the turn. In total, I would say that this outdoor section has about, let's see. Yeah, the first major running hub, the tunnel, this running hub, which we're almost done with, and then one more. After one more, we get inside. It's gonna be a lot nicer indoors. Some of those hallways are pretty small, so we'll be, well, not safe, but a lot faster than running outdoors. We will get there. I believe I can also use the despawn glitch on the second round in the next area. Telling there is a point where you can drop this earlier than you think and be safe, but I mean, the nurses can go all the way to the end, so I'd rather not risk it right now. Almost there. When you see a wall, you'll know we're done. Well, not done with all of it, but this one section. Also, as of good news, we're definitely in the back half of the game. You're making pretty good speed. I think, what, time's like now like 220 something at the moment? It's already been 2 hours and 20 minutes. Time flies when you're playing Silent Hill 2, doesn't it? You wouldn't think about it, but it really does. When you're holding a great knife. Alright, there it is. Alright, same principle. Too dark to read the map. You're gonna do it right there. This will hopefully despawn the nurses who are in the street. It will make the street hopefully a lot safer. Now, there is a fool's errand we can do. As we go through this part of the game, it doesn't happen a lot, but every now and again, you know, you're not thinking. Sometimes it happens. There's a key that we have to unlock and then grab after unlocking. You can miss the key if you're not careful. So exactly what you think will happen, where you unlock the thing, forget to grab the key, and then you walk to the door only to find out that it's locked. Which is kind of funny. Because if that happens, we'd have to walk all the way back. We're not going to want that. So we're going to make sure we grab that key. Just have a little bit more to go. Got really excited. Yeah, I thought it'd be fun to kind of bring back for April Fools. Kind of works out entirely. Been having a lot of fun games lately, but it only comes once a year. Kind of like Parasite Eve. You know, we do that during Christmas time. April Fools is the great knife holiday, apparently. One of the classic runs. And I was kind of saying earlier as well, because, you know, back when we had Awfully Silly, I know they'd bring the whimsy of April Fools, but I suppose we were talking about it. You don't really get to see April Fools all the time, so kind of nice when you do. And no, we do not want to forget that item. It'll be very important that we do not miss that one. We do save a little bit of time walking through the apartment complex right here. Missed 2 hours already? Hey, don't worry. That's more than enough time to catch up on the action of Great Knife. There'll be a lot more Great Knife to see. It's a long run. I always get really tired on Hotfix days. I have to wake up earlier than usual. My sleep's kind of a little bit wonky. But I think today is gonna be a good day. I should be able to reset my sleep schedule, which is nice. I do have a bit of an awkward thing. Funny enough, I guess I don't get to talk with all the, you know, all of you as much during these runs, but I often am graveyard shift, so I kind of wake up late for a lot of things. And yeah, parasailing is always a fun time. Always a good time with that one. One of my favorite times of the year is the holidays for Christmas and all that, because the moment Thanksgiving is done, I can begin Parasite Eve season. It's like eggnog or like Christmas movies or something. After today, we're kind of like what? Holiday drought, aren't we? I guess there's Easter over the weekend, but like. I have a lot of fun theming holidays. I guess we have Mother's and Father's Day and then Independence Day, but kind of in a drought for a little bit. All right, here's the item, by the way. We uncover it, we use that, and there's the key. I'm gonna do this again, make sure we don't have the, you know, the nurses on the road. Parasite Eve came out, I want to say, in 1998? So, almost 20 years. Halloween's a good holiday. I like Halloween. Yeah, it came out in 98. That's right. Memorial Day, if you need a work day off. Well, there's a lot of, like, work days off, but, like, not a lot of the silly ones, or, you know, the festive ones, I suppose. Only 10 years? Yeah, of course, you got it. I guess I'd say the next festive holiday, because I guess the next holiday, what we have, I guess Easter's kind of festive, right? You see the gorillas. Nice. Juneteenth is in June. And also, I believe, GDQ normally has, the Juneteenth event. I'm sure one will probably get planned later this year. We're making good time. Now, this is the last road for the last open areas. From this point onward, after this road is done, the rest of the run is indoors. So we're getting very close. Also, I got a hair. There we go. I did it. Getting close. Just a little bit more. And then at the end of the street, we're good to go. There we go indeed. Also, I guess GDQ submissions, I think, just closed, if I remember right. It'd be fun to see the games list at some point soon. I don't remember when that's supposed to drop, but we've always fun to see the SGDQ games that get picked out. Hopefully there'll be a lot of good ones. I assume they're all good. Silly games, yes. But we will see. My nose is itchy. I don't know why. See, when I know I have to mash the button, that's when it gets you. It really just creeps up on you, like, creeps up on you. Your face knows you can't scratch it, and you must scratch. Am I submitting anything to SGDQ? Yes, I submitted a lot of horror games, and that's mainly it. I always submit a bunch of spooky stuff. Which, we'll see. Didn't get into GDQ, but we'll see what happens with SGDQ. I think from what I saw, there's almost 2,000 submissions to the event. Just about 2,000. Although, there could be more, because I think you have the option to, like, hide submissions if you want to. They're probably a little over 2,000, about to guess. And then they compile those games in about maybe, I don't know, 150 or something. Not exactly, mind you, but... Oh, hold on, here we go. Making good progress. These are the invisible cars. But yeah, usually it's like, how many hours are in a week? Like 150, 160 or something like that. Actually, the marathon usually tends to run around that long. Well, they begin by like 10 a.m. my time. I take 10 a.m. Sunday. Go to late Saturday or early Sunday, quote unquote. Makes sense. $168. Yeah, that makes sense. So the marathon probably has maybe about 168 hours or so. I don't know the exact length, but yeah, it makes sense. They probably have like 150 games or something. Sometimes more, sometimes less. You're gonna submit a Ditto or a PD Piranha for a prize donation. I mean, I feel like right now you gotta go with Ditto, right? With Pocapia being... Pocapia? Pocapia. How do you pronounce it? Whatever you pronounce it. Pocopia. It's pronounced Pocopia. Copia. But I know Ditto's like the main character of that game, so... If it was a Ditto, it would make perfect sense. There's always so many cool prizes at the GDQ events. It's fun to see. Also, excellent news. We are almost at the end of the road. We've been holding up. I don't know how long we've been holding up. We've been holding up. We're almost at the end of the road. And I definitely think this is the longest section of the run. Like, from here on out, like, smooth sailing gets a lot easier, a lot more, like, notable of what we're doing. This is the one part where it's like, okay, hold up. And there's the end of the road right there. We just have to enter the building, and we are golden. We get back to, you know, high-octane gameplay. Here we are, and boom, we are no longer outdoors. We have done the longest portion of the game. The lights are back on. We have done it. But now we gotta go down the stairs. And these stairs are long. But hey, I can finally have the light on and I can drink water. I don't need to mash a button for like, oh god, how long was that? I didn't even tie. I wonder how long that actually was. I felt long. I felt a lot longer than I thought. Which I guess makes sense. It is a long speedrun. Oh, we've done it. Yeah, I've done it. Do I have any more cough drops? I do. You have more cough drops. Makes sense. Peak classic gaming, at least 20 minutes. Yeah, that sounds about right. Sounds about right there. Would be accurate in this case. There he is, long enough without the great knife, and imagine with the great knife. There we go. With the great knife, it's long. Also, I love this staircase because it is just straight up a long staircase. It's not like a looping one. They just made it really long because it'd be funny. And you know what? It is. So true. Good luck with the rest of the run. Thank you. Really moving the pace right now. Just walking on down. And hopefully you have a good night. And we're almost at the bottom. I don't know if we are. Oh, we are making good time. I actually do think we can PB. From my understanding, I think, what Richard told me, we have I think a 314 last time. $3:16:18 was last time, so that's the time to beat. I feel like we can beat it. I feel like we're going to beat it. I don't know where we are on pace, but you know what? I feel good about this. That Pyramid Head fight was really good. And the nurses were a little bit rough, but I feel like I've never had good nurses, so. Oh, the Word of last year I locked in. You know, I also wonder if anyone, like, ever, like, you know, uses GDQ to go to bed. And then while they're dreaming, they're just hearing this wonderful soundscape in their dreams. The constant. I feel like that happens more often than people think. Oh yeah, I guess right now I get to talk about something I never get to talk about. I imagine a lot of you GDQ watchers are also casual speedrun enjoyers, where you watch speedruns probably many types. You probably have your, preferred runs and all that. One of my favorite things, and I don't know if it's a streaming thing or a speedrunning thing. I think it's speedrunning, right? Whenever I watch a speedrunner, I find like I'm always watching the same parts. Not in a bad way. But like if I'm watching someone, I'll probably be like, also hold on, one moment before that thought. We do have a high impact section right here. We have a couple things we have to keep in mind. There's an enemy at the end of this hallway. I think we're in range. Nice. Realize I have to worry. That's nice. Nice. All right, but now I can finish the thought, right? Also, there is a well. We will have to use the great knife on the well, and then that will actually allow us to break the wall. But whenever I'm watching someone, and I'm watching them do attempts, whenever I, like, look back at the screen, like if I'm playing a game or something, I almost always see the same part. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I'll always just tune into some parts of the run. Uh-oh, hold on. We got a hit. That's good. Miss. That's a hit. Maybe another hit. I'm just gonna walk by. I think we gotta tank it. I think we gotta tank it. All right, we're free. We're free. We're all right. Sorry, it's a little bit risky. Yeah, I always find like I'm always watching the same parts of a run. Like in Silent Hill, like I always see the hospital, for instance, or you always see like, I don't know. I watched a runner named Froob do Like a Dragon, and I always see it on the business minigame. Which is funny, because it's not even, like, late. It's not even, like, early in the run. It's considered, like, a mid-game thing. But for some reason, whenever I tune in, or whenever, like, I have time to watch, it's like, oh, hey, it's the business minigame. Which, I don't know, I always think it's kind of fun, right? There's, like, certain parts of the run that are always going to be just more present. And I think you end up watching them, even by accident. Hello, Alt. Hello. I guess maybe the idea is it's kind of the parts of the run that if they have a run going, you're more likely to see them. Like, far enough away from the early game that they're willing to continue it, but also, like, you know, it's there. I do wonder why that is. Alright, now that we're in the prison, we do have a couple of sketchy fights. We have some tight corridors. Please hit. Nice! I missed, that's fine. Got that one. Good. Okay. There's one person in this hallway. We are going to be careful. Please? Nice. Don't crawl. Can't see a thing. So for what it's worth, that's the game. The game does have a bit of an awkward relationship because in some parts I have to have the light be really low. Mainly because if the flashlight is on, enemies will hit me. Speaking of which, all right, we gotta run through. I think we just tank it. Run away! All right, we've done it. All right, not bad, not bad. I do hear an enemy. Hopefully they're not in a bad spot. God, the noises are messing with me right now. There's the guy in this hallway. There he is. Not quite in range. Nice. Oh, he crawled into me. Maybe. Okay, we got away from that one. That's good. Like I said, the moment we get to the prison, it's really going to start amping up. It's no longer walking down a dark street. Now we have enemies again. So we must be careful. Maybe? Please? Hit him while he's down? Hit me. Let's heal. I actually am on death hit. Okay, good, good. Good. I think we're good. We should be a lot safer now. I think I cleared everything. That's important. I don't want any of these guys hitting me on the way back. That's the big issue. Am I feeling these 2 hours? Feeling pretty good. Actually, the wild thing is the time has been flying by. The only thing flying by more than the time has been the speed of this game. We're actually really late in the game. For those of you who do not know the layout of Silent Hill 2, for areas we have left, well, we're hitting the end of the prison. We'll have the labyrinth. After the labyrinth, we have the boat, then the hotel. And then the hotel is the end of the game. Okay, I guess he got back up. We're actually getting really close to the end. Which, as funny as it sounds, I think there's really only a few more hard hallways left. Like, we're actually pretty home free. The hard parts of the run aren't what you think they're going to be. And the reason for that is, for one, the bosses all now are going to be easy. You should think this makes Silent Hill about a cruise ship. They made a Silent Hill about a boat. Also, that was me waking up this morning. The Silent Hill franchise is neat. You know, I guess I could be talking a lot more about Silent Hill, but as I've been running this game more and more, I think I've become a real aficionado of hallway knowledge. I was the hallway Maria, pretty easy. It's funny because all the bosses are the easiest parts of this, except for the first boss, ironically. Oh, but with Silent Hill, yeah, no, I've done deep dives into all the lore. It's funny because the more you play these games, you know, when you're dragging a knife for about 3 hours, you have a lot of time to think about Silent Hill. What version is this? This is the PC port, the original PC port. I use a modded file created by UFO Techie that allows me to basically, we're using Cheat Engine to put in the Great Knife. Which, while the weapon is strong, it's mostly a detriment. So. Oh. See, after this run's done, I'm gonna stand up and get some food. Alright, though, we are almost done with the prison. Also, something kind of funny, we're about to approach one of the only areas of the run where we're not going to lose time by being Great Knife only. As funny as that sounds. Now you may be wondering, what section is that? It's riding an elevator. We can't really go any slower for riding an elevator. Yeah, there's the elevator, and oh my god, we're about to move the fastest we did all run long. There it is. What if I told you right now, oh my, look at the speed we're going. We're traveling at such speeds. Also, there is some other good news. The good news is I don't need to get the Great Knife down here. Normally for hard mode, you would take this moment. This is where you get the Great Knife. And normally, we would actually grab it here. Luckily for us, we don't need to grab the Great Knife. Kind of funny how that works, I suppose. Blistering speeds, if you ask me. Cruelly speedy. All right. right, here we are. All right, so the labyrinth. We're gonna have a lot of enemies, and weirdly enough, I wouldn't say narrow hallways. These hallways are actually kind of big. The tunnels later, though, are going to be kind of tight-knit, so I have to be a little bit careful. Although, see no enemy. Maybe they went left. Here, enemy on the left. That's good. No enemy yet. Hello. No enemies yet. Hold on, they were safe. Okay, we are indeed safe. We're gonna make our emergency save. While we're walking down here. All right, I don't know why I did that. Okay, so far so good. One down. As well, you may have noticed. Oh wait, it actually worked. Wow, he's so fast. All right, I'm on death hit. That's fine. So that's a funny one, and I would love to answer that. For one, the boat is based off of James's movement speed. So the boat is indeed longer, yes. The boat is going to be slower. Because James is using the speed of the boat, his own movement speed for the boat. Also, before I get to the next question, right now, RNG manipulation is back. This puzzle is randomized, and I know the answer is going to be side down. I get it first try. This is randomized on hard mode, one of the neat changes. Is that Igdisis? Yes. Every Speedruns from the Crypt, I am here because I am the showrunner, and today we're doing a run because April Fools, haha. But yeah, no, I've been here like every 2 weeks, just about, you know, some pauses, but been here about every 2 weeks for the last, yeah, 5 years. Almost 6, about 5 years. I'll be 6 years in October. So I've been here every 2 weeks, just about the last 5 years. What was that thing? It's a cube. 5 years? Yeah, it's been nice working with GDQ. Been doing the crypt. Showing off the horror games. Have to get a PhD. I thought PhDs were like 8 years. Also, these enemies are bad. Oh, that was a fast spawn. Nice. All right, we are gonna play a little bit risky. We're gonna flee, okay? Really? Oh God, no! All right, let's just take it. Let's just take it. Run, James! I'm the longest running Hotfix show. I don't know. I imagine there's still some that have been running about as long. I don't think I'm the longest. Yeah. RNG. All right, so RNG would be the longest one. Wait, there's at least a couple other ones that have been as long, though, I think, right? I look at the full roster. I'm trying to remember which, like... I don't remember. Ah! Okay, okay. Apparently we're the second longest show. That's trivia. I didn't actually realize we're on that long. See, it's weird when you say it out loud. When you say it out loud, it is kind of long, isn't it? I've been working for GDQ longer than I went to college. It's kind of fun to think about, isn't it? The second show we ever saw. Yeah. Her skill is the first. Yeah. I don't know. I'm starting to think. I've been working for GDQ for almost 5.5 years almost. Kind of trippy. What's that PV in Sonal 2? Oh god, I don't even know it right now. I think I have like a 43, 48 something on hard mode, regular. It's funny because like I don't really run any percent anymore because I don't like it. It's not fun to do any percent. I guess time flies, doesn't it, Chad? And I've been streaming full time for over 6 years now. That's weird. Hey, you know what? That was a good hallway. Honestly, I feel like it would be a lot. I'm gonna take a bit of a risk here. I think with the way we've been playing, I feel like we can power through this. I feel like we can greed a little bit. Because we have plenty of health coming up. I know I can beat Mary in the amount of health kits I normally get in the end of the game. We're gonna have 2 health kits in the... We totally... Oh my god, late game's gonna fly. If we can run past an enemy, I think we do it. I'm not gonna run past this guy, though. Very good. Also, you know what else is weird? I've been running at GDQ events, my first run was in 2020, technically. So, the beginning of 2020, I had my first major GDQ run. And I think I've been submitting to the events for almost 10 years. God, that man is moving. What a sound. All right, one down. And I didn't even get hit on that. Nice. All right, so we're now coming up on the Abstract Daddy boss fight. I have good news. This boss fight's very easy because we skip it in the speedrun because this, you know, it's faster to not do it. So we're not gonna do it. I'm gonna be doing the same trick, and by doing so, we'll just walk past the fight. Although it is pretty funny because there is a little, like, in the cutscene, James will pick up the great knife and just walk to the door, which is kind of stupid in a funny way. He's faking it, chat. All right, there's the Abstract Daddy fight. Right now, we do have more RNG. We have the counterfeit. On hard mode, it is the counterfeit puzzle. So you have to find out which one was the counterfeit. The answer here is going to be 2. Usually you want 1, that is the best one, but 2 is actually not that bad. We're fine with 2. And yeah, pretty much every category outside of the console versions of this game will skip Abstract Daddy. Although that would be a really tough fight on hard. On Great Knife only, I suppose. 1 in 6 chance. Oh my god, I got it. Oh, how did he do that? Here we go. Wait, did I miss the key? I think I did. I missed it. All right. We're almost done with the labyrinth. We have the boss, which... All right, funny of what if I told you that the boss is going to be the easiest part of the labyrinth? Part of that reason is normally you use the Great Knife to fight Eddie anyway. So, if the fight goes well, we're good. If the fight goes bad, then that's a problem. Which I know that's the case, like, you know, obviously. Oh, it's bad things will happen. But one of two things are going to happen in the Eddie fight. One, we get the manipulation down perfectly, and Eddie will go down. It's usually about a 5-hit fight in phase 2. The other part, though, if it goes bad, what's gonna happen is Eddie will run. Eddie has phases, so usually it's phase 1. He has 3 phases. Phase 1 is the first phase of the fight. You hit him twice, he runs away. Go to the next room. Eddie now has 2 phases. And in this phase, phase 1, he'll be aggressive and he'll try to hit you. This is what we want. After a certain threshold of damage, though, he enters phase 2. And in phase 2, he will flee. He'll run away. Normally, it's not the end of the world because you kind of run after him with a gun. But if we get a bad phase 2, Eddie will run away. So we don't want that. All right. We are also going to play it safe, because honestly, I would like more health. The Pyramid Head fight is not bad, but it will be brutal. We do want more health for that. And for the beds, I think they're the Abstract Daddy enemies. We are going to want those. But now we're going to get ready for Eddie. Ready for Eddie. And Eddie is a bit of a mean fight, so we do got to be a little bit careful here. Trying to crack my neck. I'm like barely missing the crack. Also, it's getting a time. I got pinged earlier. I wanted to see, look at one of my pings. Should have done that sooner. Nothing, alright, nothing for him, good. Just making sure. Okay. After the end of this long hallway, we're gonna be fighting Eddie. And this is where all the action comes in. Also, it's kind of funny, the most worrisome thing right now is going to be a bed enemy. It's kind of funny how that works out. Alright, here we go. It's time for Eddie. In all his glory. So, phase 1, like I said, easy. Phase 2 is going to be a little bit tougher. Hopefully we don't get the bad Eddie damage. We should be good, though. Alright, ready? It's time to fight Eddie. All right, phase one's always the same. He's gonna run away, we're gonna wait, and then we're gonna bonk him down with a great knife. We're gonna do it again. Usually loops. And all right, there's phase one, nice and easy. I might heal the fool just in case. I'd rather not worry too much. I probably didn't need to, but I'd be safe than sorry. Phase two. We're gonna hide behind the meat right here. That was a little bit risky. I'm not a big fan of that. It's fine. He's gonna walk up to me and try to punch me, hopefully. All right, Eddie's moving weird. Eddie, what are you doing? Eddie, what are you doing? There, oh my god. He's not panicking yet. Okay, so it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. Like, he kept just... I don't know, because he zoned out? He forgot we were fighting. Anyway, Eddie is deady. Let's go. And now for the funniest part of the run. So, normally we have to row a boat, right? And on console, it's kind of tough. And on the speedrun, it's really easy. Now, there's a gimmick with the boat. The boat is tied to James's movement speed. So, you know, when you're sprinting, it's tied to your movement speed. It goes pretty fast. Usually takes about maybe 56 seconds, something like that, right? Like about a minute. It's tied to our movement speed. Yes, it does exactly what you're thinking that means. So, if you equip the great knife and then go into the boat, yeah, no, you're gonna have great knife movement speed in this boat for some reason. Why it works this way, I honestly can't really tell you. Luckily, it's not too hard. Rowing the oars is only really going to be a hard mode thing. On console, but we said to go straight, and it's funny because the boat won't even feel like it's moving. I'm out of water. Gotta lock in on this run. And yeah, no, we're really going down the boat. You can row a boat with a great knife as an oar. Honestly, that's basically what we're doing right now. Imagine he got a second great knife and he's just rowing with great knives. They're like cutting through the water at the speed right here. I think we're almost there. All right. Good stuff. That was the boat. It didn't take as long as you think, but it's like definitely longer. Now, there is something really stupid about the hotel coming up. Which, the hotel, right? In the speedrun, we have an out-of-bounds glitch. And that allows us to save a couple minutes. By doing it, you bypass the area of the game where you lose all of your inventory and have to go through a dark area, you know, basically defenseless, right? Which is cool. Really cool area. And it's funny because in the older route before I ran this, you would actually do it as intended. Now, you wouldn't do the out of bounds, you do the intended route. Basically, I routed in the out of bounds. Now, what does this do? It actually makes the run slower. Which is funny, because I'm pretty sure I technically lose time by doing this. However, there is a catch. By doing the glitch, we get to keep the integrity of the run. And it's all about integrity sometimes. Now, why would we have the integrity of the run with this? We would have that because since we were able to go out of bounds, we get to keep this the whole time. We don't have to worry about our speed as much. We don't have to worry about losing the Great Knife, because, you know, while it'd be interesting to go faster in some cases, it's against the spirit of the game. There's an enemy coming up right here. Hopefully, oh, hold on. All right, we're safe. Went right past me. Like ships in the night. We're right past us. Here goes the out of bounds, if you are ready. And this is gonna get kind of fun. Okay. This is so awkward to do with a great knife. All right, we got it. All right. Oh my god, that is so awkward to do without knowing your movement speed on this. Okay. In fact, I might actually whip up my keyboard right now. Yeah, I'm gonna do this on keyboard. Because it'll be a lot easier to do. Normally you want to go a very particular path, which is going to be up and then like kind of down left at a point. It's usually pretty easy to know what we're doing as long as, well, I probably shouldn't be mashing save now I think about it. All right, there's one. That's good progress. Seeing that first load is very important. And then we'll see the next time the screen changes, we'll be good. There we go. All right, once you see that. Look, the sound is gone. Oh, wait. He's coming back. God, I just love how the sound creeps back in. And there we go. That was the out of bounds. And with that, we are now in an area of the game I'm not supposed to have weapons in. Does that have any benefit for us? No. In fact, this is, like I said, we just get to keep the Great Knife longer. It gives us more integrity. Personally, if there was a leaderboard for this, this should be mandatory. You have to do this. After all, it's called Great Knife only, not Great Knife mostly. Which also, I guess that's kind of one of the goofy things, right? Because, like, on the one hand, yes, the speedrun's obviously slow. In a very dumb way, the speedrun's a little slow. But on the, like, the cool thing, though, is you actually get to see tricks done in ways they're not meant to be done. As part of the challenge, like, oh, you can still do the tech, it just, you know, a little bit more awkward to get it. I think the coolest thing I've ever done in a Silent Hill game, it's an old VOD, I remember it, though. In Silent Hill 1, there's an out of bounds, too, right? And I've once done a meme challenge in Silent Hill 1 because it's actually similar, which in Silent Hill 1, it is a bit of a made-up category, but there is a katana-only category of that game, which is you play the game normally until you can get the katana. Once you have the katana, you're only allowed to move using katana swings. It's as dumb as it sounds. Oh god, I'm being cast. Ow. Alright, there we go. And when I did that once, I've only done it once, but when I did it, I actually got the out of bounds with the katana, and for anyone who knows that out of bounds, it is absurdly difficult to do in comparison. Because it doesn't always work. Nice. That's a 2-year sub right there. Oh, hold on, maybe? Nice. Oh, stall the way, stall the way. Out of the way, you. All right. That was a bit of an awkward hallway, but we got through. And we are done with this little portion of here. Also, one of the upsides of Silent Hill 2 is they give you a lot of health at the end of the game. Like, I mean a lot of health. So we're going to be grabbing quite actually all of it. All right. And now we're going to play through this a little bit more normally. I think I can still avoid these guys. I might be eating a hit or two. Yeah, I have a feeling. I'm probably going to need one more, I think. Oh, 2 more. Hey, why don't you slap each other? All right, there. Okay. That's good. That was a good dodge. Good dodge. Excellent dodge. Now, this is the part of the game I've been worried about. I've kind of been building up to it. There's one hallway where I cannot dodge the beds, the abstract daddies, we're going to call them. I'm going to have to go through them. They're pretty tough enemies if you don't get a good, good movement going. Normally what we'll do is in the speedrun, you're fast enough that you can kind of push through them and they won't hit you. In Great Knife Only, a little bit less fast. You know, our speed's a little different than usual. Also, just in case. Alright, so we're gonna make her save, getting in a good position. That should be good. Oh no! I think that's worth retrying this one. I think it's worth retrying it. I don't think we greed. I don't think we try salvage zone. I think we just quickly retry. He's so fast. All right. We try again. You try again. All right, more aggressive. That's good. All right, I think right when I get to the end of that hallway, I gotta land it. Otherwise, it's not gonna work. This is a lightning fast in comparison to me. All right, got the aggression. That's good. There's the hit. Oh my god, I got a double. I knew I'd get one, but I didn't think I'd get the other one. Okay, that was good. That ended up being really good. Like I said, it took a little bit to get there, but we pulled it through. Now, this word is randomized, and it's going to be null, as the chances of going any faster than this speed are null. Alright, ready? Cool. It's also really funny, because back in the day, you could brute force that instead of going for the intended answer. And it would be faster. And it was actually a really cool way that you could save time. And no beds. All right, we are safe. We're home free. We're going to the end of the game. Remember, I think the time to beat is a 3:16. If we can get to the end of the game in the next 16 minutes or so, we got this in the bag. Actually, I don't know how much time is left, but we have 12 minutes. Surely we can make it work. The speed is lightning right now. Go, James, go! Now, what are the problem areas left? Actually, there's not really a whole lot. We will have a little bit of awkwardness in the hallway with the mandarins. They're going to poke my feet again, which hopefully won't happen too much. But everything else is more or less going to be perfectly okay. And we're getting very close to the end of the run. Also, you have to make sure we do not forget the key. I've done that more than I'm willing to admit. Sometimes, you know, you don't think about it. I mean, it's not that bad, but in this case, it would be bad. It'd be lethal. Boom, 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 boom. All right, here we go. We get the grand reveal. Not about the great knife, but about our great wife. I still can't believe, though, that for April Fool's last year, Konami was selling the pillow James uses in Silent Hill 2. Which, I don't know why, but I guess it's a little funny. Alright, there's the plot twist of the game. Now we're marching to the end. It actually ends up being really fast. It's kind of funny, too, because normally the hallways aren't going to be that huge. Wait, wrong way. So the actual speed we lose is not going to be nearly as bad as one would think. Yeah, apparently that was the Konami joke this year, which I like that one. I think it's pretty funny. All right. Now, the final bosses, they're not going to be easy, but they're going to be easier. Now, here's the problem. The dual pyramid head, easy fight, hard position. Once we have in position, though, we're golden. And then the final boss, it really depends how nice she wants to be. If she's nice, we're golden. If we're not, you know, if she's mean, that's not going to be very good. Also, we need to see what ending we get. I'm pretty sure it's going to be in water. We were low health for a long time. But, hey, maybe we land it. We will take all the health just in case. This hallway can get a little bit dicey. There's a guy, usually he'll walk by us. Hopefully we won't have to kill him. Alright, went right by, that's perfect. Okay, get the Angela cutscene. The last normal enemy in the game is going to be the Mandarins. The Mandarins aren't going to be too bad. Just have to be a little bit careful here. All right, about maybe, hold on. Mandarin hallway. Here, Pyramid Head room. Final hallway, final boss. We're right at the end. Wow, time really flew by, didn't it? It really flew by this run. All right, so hopefully we don't take too much damage. Right, I'm okay with a little poking. It's not too much. Now, there is going to be a slight catch. First off, I don't want to take too much damage. I do want to make sure I keep as many health kits as I can. It will come in handy as we go. Alright, we should be good for the rest of this hallway. Okay. Now we're getting ready for the final boss rush. Alright, phase 1. Dual Pyramid Head. Our goal is to get to the corner of the room as quickly as we can. I'm allowed 1 hit from Death Hit every time, so we're gonna ride Death Hit. Okay, now that we're in the corner, we're actually going to swap over to tank controls and my keyboard. While we're going as well, we're going to quickly heal, get off Death Hit, and I think we win. I'm going to go for it. By going to tank controls, you can just constantly keep them in the stun loop. Positioning was good. Took a little bit of time to get there, but hey, we got it first try. All right, and that is a fight. Excellent fight. We did take some hits, and I have more than enough health to beat the whole game right now. As well, we're going to go back to directional. The reason for that is, 1, I don't want to change it later, and 2, it'll be better for the upcoming staircase. We don't need to use tank controls for the speed there. We're not going to go much faster than this anyway. First off, I do not want to be on Death Hit, just in case. Good, good, good. Okay. And now, the final hallways. I don't think we're gonna make it, but hey, I think if we didn't have that nurse hallway, it would have been fun. But we're still gonna be within, you know, our general time, I think.
Mary?
What do you want, James?
Also, I love this part because you can't not hear all the dialogue.
I don't want any damn flowers. Just go home already.
Mary, what are you saying?
Look, I'm disgusting. I don't deserve flowers. Between the disease and the drugs.
Also, in case you're wondering, you normally are at the end of the hallway here by the time she says the word flowers.
Leave me alone already. I'm no use to anyone. I'll be dead soon anyway. Maybe today.
It's kind of funny to kind of see the difference of speed, I guess.
Easier if they just kill me. But I guess the hospital is making a nice profit off me. They want to keep me alive. Are you still here? I told you to go. Are you deaf?
I'm trying to go.
Don't come back.
You can't go very fast.
James. Wait. Please don't go. Stay with me. Don't leave me alone. I didn't mean what I said. Please, James. Tell me I'll be okay. Tell me I'm not going to die. Help me.
Right, 'cause I know we meme on this game, but it's still a very sad game. A man's dragging his great knife all over, and then, you know, really sad story. Alright. We're on the final boss once we hit the top of these stairs. I think we're barely gonna miss that PB. But it'll be okay. If I didn't have that bad nurse hallway, I think we would have had it. But we'll still be within a good time. And hey, we have a good idea of what the exact estimate could be. So, for the final boss, ideally we would like to see her on the bed. She probably won't be on the bed. I also want to play it safe. Oh god, can you imagine if I died during the boss and then walk all the way back up here? Okay. Let's see where she is. I already see her, she's on the window. I knew she'd be on the window. So, the reason why we went on the bed is usually get a better intro attack. Whenever she's on the window, she almost always... Also, you get there a little bit sooner. She almost always opens up with flies. We didn't open up with flies, but, you know, we're gonna be fine. Now, the idea behind this is we actually use the Great Knife normally. Awkward positioning, not the end of the world. We're gonna be having her do little loops. Her movement speed is a lot faster than mine. But we can actually do pretty good with the damage. We're expecting flies. Flies is okay. Whenever she's hitting the apex of the circle, we're going to go for the swing. Ideally, you want to see that loop of her kind of shooting out the tentacle. Good damage. Good hit. Okay, ampule now, that'd be a full heal. Also, we are absolutely in water. I'm 100% right. I knew this could be in water. I mean, it could be leave, but I am 90% sure we got in water. Good hit. Ow. I am getting some rough RNG on, how she's moving. I could wait. Wait, and time. Hey, wait, we got leave. Wait, no, we didn't. This could be in water. We'll find out what we got at the end. I didn't get leave. We actually got leave. We got the leave ending. We got the good ending. The game's good ending, apparently. All right, that was Silent Hill 2 Great Knife Only. What a game. 11,000. That's a lot less than I thought. 11,000 wow, he saved the game 11,000 times. What a guy. All right, went pretty well. Hope you all enjoyed that run of Silent Hill 2 Great Knife Only. You know, April Fools, I do like this category. I know a lot of people like it. It's a meme. You don't get to see it a lot, so I thought it'd be a nice little treat to be able to do that there. But yeah, that was it. Unfortunately, we didn't get the PBA. Maybe next time this category comes back, we can get that nice PB. But you know what? It was still a good showing. But yeah, and with that, it's been Crypt. Hope you all enjoyed that episode of Speedruns from the Crypt. It's not every day we're gonna be April Fools. I guarantee you the next show is gonna be more normal. Hopefully you'll enjoy that when we get there. Once again, before I go, I've been your host, Dices. Thank you all for watching this episode. You know, I hope you all enjoyed it. Before we do go as well, for a couple of announcements, thank you to anyone who does support Games Done Quick with, you know, subs, give subs, bits, and all that. It does keep the show going in the interim, so thank you very much for that. And as well, we have an event coming up, Passion for Puzzles, is a celebration of the puzzle game genre and speedrunners who solve them in record time. I'll be running from April 11th to the 12th, and you can check out the schedule using !puzzles in chat. And you can let us know on social media to, you know, see what you're excited for. There will be a rerun of both Crosshair and Crypt in a moment. All right, after this, oh, my OBS is breaking. Where's my OBS?